we are going back to St. Paul Union Depot on this rainy Saturday because we wanted to go somewhere today. I wanted to go to Chicago, but Megan said I can't leave Tilly alone. And I asked Tilly what she wanted to do. Well, she had some coupons for Noodles and Company. Now, we could have gone to the Noodles and Company in town. There's so many locations.
That's boring.
Right, but I looked on the map and I said, where could we go? La Crosse is the next one out. So we're gonna get on the Empire Builder again, and hopefully we don't get there so early as to miss the lounge, so we can use our lounge pass today. We've got breakfast. We're going 3 hours on the train, which is on time, to La Crosse to walk around on this rainy day, but we remembered an umbrella, and I hope that the station is open for our return journey, which is also today. It's just a day trip to La Crosse. Well, this isn't cheap parking. Nope, it's the weekend, so we can use Lot A under the head house. Well, as predicted, we were just waved in, given the number, so we're going up to wait on the couch. Locked off as usual. Can't wait in the waiting area. As it was when we left it. Couches, lights, windows, old brick wall, train magazines, other magazines, little paper reading materials. Gee. Oh, water. Neat. Once upon a time, there was a coffee pot in here. They brought it over from the old Midway station. The Brave drank out of it. Living in a major city that is served by a train that takes 2 days to run end to end is a unique and often frustrating experience. These few eastbound Amtrak trips I've taken this year were not greatly delayed by any measure. But delays due to heat restrictions to prevent track warping in summer, as well as holding the train to avoid severe weather, are, as of the time of editing, making a trip aboard long-distance Western trains much the same travel experience today as it was 100 years ago. Amtrak's Union Depot Lounge can be used by business class passengers on the now operating Borealis train, as well as sleeper car passengers on the Empire Builder. The previous Midway station between Minneapolis and St. Paul used to have a trackside sleeper lounge, and that was definitely a nice place to see trains. This one's a little bit off in the corner and seems like kind of an afterthought, but it is a nice quiet place to wait for your train. The garbage is full, but you know, if they didn't use my pass, I'm not going to complain. I'd even take the trash out if they wanted me to. Oh. Well, this is one way you can see kind of into what's going on. In all honesty, we may still end up waiting in line because we were just told to go down trackside by 8:30, meaning that it's unlikely the conductor makes it all the way back here, and definitely doesn't sound like that the station agents are going to take us down to the gate. But that's fine, we know our way down the end of the waiting room where it comes. And if we have to wait in line, so be it. At least this way we got a little bit of time and a nice comfy couch, rather than on a bench on the side of the waiting room. The heyday of the Empire Builder occupied a brief span of decades before personal automobiles and air travel developed to more reliably get people across the country. It's hardly busy today. I don't think there's like 10, 12 people in the line. Today's traveler is often hasty and frustrated, and they're less likely to utilize a rail service that takes days to go where a flight could take them in just hours. Between St. Paul and Spokane, Washington, the Empire Builder incurs most of its delays due to the geography of its route and the fact that it runs on a busy private freight railroad.
Crosse.
Not a sign today. The second day of the trip can be a real slog for tourists, as the grand scenery of Glacier National Park and the Cascades is balanced by long runs through North Dakota and Montana. There, the Builder serves a corridor of cities isolated from the freeway system. Riders need either an appreciation of the vastly unoccupied plains or some form of entertainment disconnected from the modern online world, as cellular carriers often don't have coverage across the less densely populated area of Middle America. On this side, yes. Alright, that'll work for you? Lounge is right there, we are right here. Put the umbrella there, I will forget it. Nope. She closed with the full wall down. Neat. It's a crew lounge right now. And this is what it looks like in the old setup. Ooh, neat. Always cool to see the Superliners still kicking around.
Oh, nice from here. Okay, right now, where are you heading?
Okay, so this is the smaller changing room, not the ladies' lounge. It has a clothes hanger plus coat hooks. The adjacent bathroom in worn out shape. Look at the font, that's so good. No cups, of course, because you don't drink that water. But that works okay, doesn't keep running. Nope. But yeah, it's Amtrak soap, so we're happy. This is your changing room. The slightly bigger bathroom, but not the biggest. Oh, the lock does work. Alright, getting ready to depart. St. Paul on a rainy day. The personal vehicle was really a boon for the American West. For the statistically fewer people who choose to make a living far away from cities on the coast, they've maintained a greater presence across there thanks to the capability to travel in directions beyond where railroads can take them, wherever they need to go to find their fortune.
9:30 for anybody curious. Cafe is located in the lower level of the Sightseeing Lounge car, and again, I will open up at 9:30 after I finish my breakfast. Thank you.
The Builder's local connections can be a nice diversion from driving a relatively short distance between St. Paul and La Crosse as we did, and the ticket fares hold close to the cost of a tank of fuel to get one around the region. This short hop at just under 3 hours was comparable to taking the Great River Road, Highway 61, down to La Crosse, but for longer trips, getting around rivers and through mountains with great speed is the job for airlines as far as most folks in Middle America are concerned. When Amtrak is called a cruise by land, it's the Builder that most embodies the term. Taking the long and isolated route to Glacier National Park, which was established thanks in part to the lobbying of the Great Northern Railway in its extension to the Pacific coast, preserves the landscapes at the pace of its heyday 100 years ago. It's not that the train is no longer relevant. Amtrak has simply chosen to have this train do what it has always done best: bring tourists across the country at whatever pace North American railroads can provide. Many living on the Northeast Corridor and throughout the more densely populated corners of the world have demand for travel options in such great proportions to have overwhelmed the landscape with options to travel by multiple forms. But European settlement of the West came out with the railroad with more of a local village sort of intention as to the pace of life. Western trains were the solution for the 19th century that continues on within the margins for modern folks so not in a hurry as to be able to experience it. I really like this particular layout of Superliner cafe car in the Sightseer Lounge fleet. You get just enough extra room walking into the area where you pick out your snacks, and you can also grab some other items from the cooler doors, so as to be able to let the line stretch a little ways further away from the stairs and make the experience a whole lot better. For folks living between St. Paul and Spokane, the builder offers a daily link to the global travel system where few other routes exist at all, even if as unreliably timed as the builder. Demand for the builder has been slow to recover after 2020, but shows an upward trend. The delays incurred by the train amidst its 2-day journey might be mitigated, but whether Amtrak can capably manage the most ideal scenarios is debatable. Some interest in expanding passenger rail service exists across the cities of Montana not presently served by the builder, but like any expansion of service to create more trips, there are surmounting challenges. To run more trains and gather more fares on this or any line is to assume the rolling stock of rail cars to implement the increased service can be procured quickly enough to maintain the trust and attention of public and private partners in investment. But it does not. Many Amtrak cars are being rehabbed by an inadequately staffed labor force, and new rail car production occurs on a very long timeline, with any agency calling upon just a few manufacturers with similarly limited skilled labor forces to build new cars. More rail infrastructure would need to be built to accommodate new passenger trains among long container, tanker, and general manifest freight operations as well. That process is under the scrutiny of railroad shareholders that know how much more profitable freight operations are to their bottom lines. Thus, the process is not quickly instituted if it is agreed to at all. So once we get to the Crosse, we are going to use MTU, the Metropolitan Transit Utility, I think I got that right, the bus system, to go up to the mall where Noodles and Company is, which is a Denver-based restaurant, or at least it used to, and they sell what their name implies, noodles, dishes like that. We could have gone there in the Twin Cities, but that's no fun. We don't want to stay in the Twin Cities. And then we're going to get on the evening Empire Builder coming back, train 27, so the coach down at the end of the train to come back to St. Paul tonight, because we don't have money to stay over. So, just out and back in the day. Plus some steaks at a supper club, too. I am glad I brought this umbrella.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the last and final smoke break stop until Chicago, Illinois. If you need to step off the train and get a quick smoke or stretch your legs, now would be the time to do so. Once again, this is the last and final smoke break stop until
it's
Chicago,
in pretty good
Illinois.
shape. Okay. And then there's Amtrak's staffing of train crews. The training for which takes time and has understandably human levels of inconsistency in guest service results.
Alright, attention passengers. We just left Winona. Up next, Crosse. Crosse is coming up next in approximately 30 minutes.
But the long 2-day route of the builder seems to be the biggest practical issue when dealing with delays. To overcome this, I would propose operating the builder only between Spokane and St. Paul as a segment. The connections to cities beyond would be handled by corridor trains to Chicago on the east, Portland and Seattle on the west, the places where population density and interest in passenger rail is highest among residents. Reducing the route's overall distance ought to improve on-time performance and could allow for schedules to be adjusted to ensure the scenic portions of the trip can be enjoyed in either direction of travel through Glacier National Park. But this would require expansion of Amtrak facilities, staffing, and business dealings in the Twin Cities and Spokane, as well as in between. This is yet another process to be undertaken on a likely very long timeline. And of course, more rail cars that take decades to be built by a limited number of manufacturers. Okay, now we gotta see if we can get the bus. So we're in La Crosse now. It is not raining, and the bus should be at its stop in 4 minutes if it's on time. Actually, now it's gonna start raining, no big deal. All right, so we made it to the street that the bus should be at. I don't see the bus yet.
I see the stop.
Yes, we see the stop, but not the bus yet. So I think, despite all odds and slow zones on the train, we're gonna make it. Oh no. Oh no, they got her. All right, well, we got to the mall and Noodles is on the other side of the mall, but problems. This mall has significantly more open things than the last time I was here. It appears that the Hy-Vee grocery store might have done it some good. Okay.
Was awesome.
The rain's just kind of a drizzle now, hardly anything, more of a mist.
No, it's not.
Oh, we got the Planter out here at the Hy-Vee. Yep. And up there, in that small strip mall, is the place we took a whole train to go to that we could have gone to where we were. And we had a coupon. There she be. We survived the train and the parking lot, and now we get Noodles. This is so silly. All right, so both coupons were accepted. We just paid for drinks. Sometimes being silly pays off. I mean, forget what we, spent on the train tickets. It was double points, so you think it's different.
Yeah.
It's a corporate restaurant.
It's different in every state.
It's a corporate restaurant.
It's different.
Now it's got sriracha. Okay. All right, there's one problem here. This Coke Zero with lime, that tastes like a rest stop bathroom smells. So I goofed, but I'll still drink it. I can refill something else.
Steven,
What?
do not be rude to the Noodles and Company.
I didn't. It was to the Coca-Cola.
Still.
Oh. Okay, now we have change. Now we have noodles in us. We have some donuts and some Pringles. Now we're gonna go back to the mall, look around for some stuff. The phones are kind of running low on batteries, so this will be kind of sparse on video, but it's just a mall, and then we'll see you back on the bus going for dinner to the supper club. Getting a bus soon to go to Schmitty's, which is like a bar, supper club. Gonna have steaks. I swear this isn't what we came for. There's just a van that says public transit. Well, that bench is wet, so... The blank mall. Yep, hey, it says Subway. Isn't that exciting for you? Alright. So it's the same bus we had earlier. It has really cool seats. The windows all open. And we walked through here earlier. So now we're deviating into this hospital clinic thing. Although the bus just kind of like the in and out. Next Target. So. That just happened. Nice curb check. the 2. That's the one that goes to La Crescent. Apple Express. We're taking this one to Green Bay. There's some abandoned furniture. And the Jefferson Line stop. The Apple Express. A place for family and friends. So I know I said to restrain myself at the salad bar, but yeah, then this happened. And now it's hand-breaded cheese curds. It's a very swanky place. I usually don't have soup, but it's free. Okay.
Why are you videotaping me putting a pound of butter on my steak?
That's not a pound.
You should have put more butter on my steak.
That was good steak. Now we go downtown. We got about 3.5 hours till the train gets here. It's on time, so now we'll go back. All right, as the clouds grow shinier, the locomotives grow darker. She's a... I've never been to this park and been able to go up into there. Although... Purty. Really purty. Would you like to go to the station even though it's way too early? Yes. So here you go. Here's your history at Marge's Restaurant, home of the home-cooked breakfast meals in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I have it on good authority that that is a famous breakfast spot. I have twice tried to go there and been once too early and the other time in too big of a rush to go there. And of course today it's too late and we just ate steak. So.
There's an old man sat on the sign. Yo. The sign. The sign. So you're not looking at the... There we go. Slowly zoom in.
It's very majestic. Yeah. Timelines as they are presently, the Empire Builder seems to be destined to remain an experience unchanged by time and defined by the challenges of the geography and sociology of its route. But if you have the patience for it, the Builder is a great trip in the sense that you can experience more of the time spent in getting where you're going as part of the place you occupy rather than just fly over it quickly. It will someday again be a trip I spend 4 days in transit to experience out west, but when that will come is unknown while my life is as busy as most folks. Well, I can't believe I missed that video of the train coming in still, but what a lovely sunset on the river. This will be our last fresh air break before St. Paul, but there's only one more stop after this before St. Paul, of course. So we're on the Minnesota side and we'll be home soon. Back in the van and back over in Plymouth a half hour after that. And then soon to bed, because this has been a day of just slowly wearing myself down, and no better way to do it than getting out of town. But we can get in one more bathroom if you. So this is by far the better one. The dressing room was much worse off in this case, but this one, there was plenty even room in the trash. So, yeah, this is a newer coach. It's had, I don't think, very much refurbishment at all, but it's the original stuff, and that's what I'm talking about. That's the good smelling stuff. That's what you want. Having everyday reliable service across a number of different modes of transport is a good idea, but these historic trains are a feeling all unto themselves. If you're only taking them for part of the journey, you feel when you get off, as I will be doing later on at St. Paul, that you're going to be missing out on a whole other adventure that this train has yet to go. And when you pick it up going eastbound, you might have to wait for it if it's gone through a lot of adventures. It's definitely a nice option to have when I go all the way out east, because I can get to Chicago earlier or leave Chicago later if I want to have more time in the Windy City. But to go west is quite the investment of time off, and I have to build up to it in both my work and planning to be able to do it just right. And then of course there's the hotel prices in Seattle and Portland as well. But it's definitely a trip worth taking, and someday in the future I will do it again. For the meantime, we'll be going out east to experience some of Amtrak's other routes in the coming months. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Well, you gotta walk to the head house to get to the parking garage.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all do the same.
Thank you. Alright, so we're pretty well beat from all that, so we're gonna go get the car and then we're gonna go back to Plymouth and sleep. And something will make a video out of this, even despite the parts that we're missing, as the magic of editing does. So thanks for coming along. We'll see you again on the next trip and all the trips in between.